Hello, everyone. I'm Yolanda Harper, and we're here with Alina at the Harper Therapy offices here in Lutz, Florida. And we wanted to spend just a couple of minutes with a topic that is heavy. So we're just going to give you the heads up about that. But we wanted to have the conversation because it's super important to have.
And super relevant right now.
Super relevant. Mm-hmm. So if you have been following the news at all recently, you have been made aware of several different stories of suicide from young people who were involved in shootings in South Florida. Mm-hmm. They survived the shootings in South Florida. Mm-hmm. And then another one, a father of a victim.
Sandy Hook.
From Sandy Hook. Mm-hmm. This follows on the heels of several celebrities who passed away last year, and then just ongoing news stories. It seems like there's a different story in the news every day, whether it be veterans, teens in the community. It's just, gosh, so heavy.
Yeah. And sad. Right.
Really hard, really tough. But it's an important conversation. If we want to change what is happening in our community, then we have to talk about it.
Yeah.
So we wanted to share some thoughts, some ideas, some tips about how to have these conversations, right? And to help spur some dialogue.
Yeah.
So Alina had some thoughts that she wanted to share.
Mm-hmm. So one thing that I actually read this morning, one of our colleagues posted on a Facebook group that we're part of, just the terminology we use with suicide. So, historically we've been saying someone committed suicide versus a term that is more preferable, I guess now, called dying by suicide. Yeah. And the reason that committing suicide versus dying by suicide is when you commit something, it's like almost has a negative connotation, like committing a crime, right? Committing something. And dying by suicide really kind of highlights the effects of mental health, right? Like it's a mental illness.
In the depths of despair that people experience to reach that point.
Right, where they actually take their own lives. Right. So, that's just a caveat that I want to throw out there.
Well, and in these most recent news stories, we hear death by suicide in relation to survivor's guilt, to trauma.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We've heard stories about death by suicide as a result of bullying.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So one thing that we wanted to talk about is, how do we first recognize the signs of someone who's going through that type of mental suffering?
Yeah, because so many people say that, in regards to these stories, that they seem like they were happy-go-lucky. Everything was fine.
Right.
Okay.
So there's a great organization. I'm sure the links will be posted in our blog topic, but it's called Change the Direction. Yolanda made me aware of this, and one of the signs is the person that you're concerned about. Are they getting more angry, irritable, kind of agitated? Do you see that is something that is progressing in their mood? Another sign is, are they isolating more? So like with the teens that I see here, I hear a lot about teens just spending time in their rooms, not coming out, not spending time with the family. So is that something that you're noticing? Another, sign is just low mood, sadness, constant low energy. Depression.
Hopelessness.
Exactly. Yeah. And so just those are a few of them, and just kind of that withdrawal, that isolation. Those are things to notice. And what do we do when we notice those things?
Yeah, and it might be subtle shifts, like Alina was saying, someone becoming a little bit more agitated. It might be that you're noticing someone is not engaging in activities that they once enjoyed doing, right? It might be that you start noticing that they are making plans to give things away that are important to them.
Or saying, even on social media, making statements that are, kind of clues to that, this is goodbye, or, something even let more subtle,
So it's important for us as people who care to catch these little statements, to catch these changes, and to be willing to talk about it with the person. I think there has been an ongoing myth that if we talk about it to the person, it's going to make them more apt to engage in the behavior, and that is not the case.
Right. Absolutely. So something that we've looked at, and something we talk about a lot here, is having these hard conversations, right?
Like we're doing now.
Right. Going to those places that you don't want to go. It'd be much easier to just be like, no, everything's fine. I'm going to turn the cheek. It's okay.
I'm sure they'll be better.
No. So we need to have those conversations, and those conversations might bring up issues that are hard to look at. Yeah. Right.
So it is being willing to say, hey, I've noticed that you are a little off. What's going on? What how can I support you?
Right. And approaching it through a place of compassion and providing like a safe space. Because if we come at it with our loved ones from a place of fear, of striking out, that will make the person want to just retreat, right? And not share what's actually going on.
And here's another thought. It's being direct and asking the questions.
Yeah.
I'm really worried. I care a lot about you, and I'm really worried about some of the things that I'm seeing. Right. Are you thinking about hurting yourself?
Right. So you lead into it. Hey, I've noticed you're spending more time in your room. I noticed your mood shifting. What's going on? Get the conversation going, and then just get right to the point.
Yes.
Are you having any thoughts of hurting yourself?
Yeah. And what do we do if they say yes? What do we do if our loved one says, I've been thinking about it, and even more frightening, I have a plan. If someone has a plan, that's an emergency situation. That is a call to 911. That's a trip to the emergency room together. Please. We say that very soberly. But that's the action that needs to happen, right? That's a safety issue. Reaching out for support, reaching out. If someone says something along the lines of, it's just so painful, I wish I didn't have to go through this much pain. That is a definite indication that some additional support could be brought in so that person can start making their way out of that dark space. If you are one of those people who are in a space of hopelessness, helplessness, the depths of depression, there is help for you. There's a way out. There are people who care about you and who want to see help you alleviate some of your suffering. So please have that conversation with your loved ones, with the people around you. Continue to reach out for support.
Yeah, and that's what we're here for too. Want to support anyone who reaches out their hand to ask for help.
That is one of the most courageous things that anyone could ever do.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
We get the honor to share space with those people. So if we can be any assistance to you, our loved one who is facing some of these hard things, please don't hesitate to reach out, give us a call. If we're not the best person to help you, we will make sure that we connect you with the best person to help you. Otherwise, friends, let's have the hard conversations together. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to share this with anyone that you think would benefit from it, because it's time for us to have the hard conversations.
No more turning a blind eye.
Let's do this. We can do it. All right. Thanks community.